Hey, Alex, how are you?
I'm doing good, Kelly. How are you?
I'm doing great. We've done a few episodes around holidays, and those have
Right.
always been very popular. I want to talk to you about a dead end that is sort of anti-holiday.
Oh,
So, have you ever heard of Vinegar Valentines?
no.
Okay.
No.
Vinegar Valentines. Well, you're familiar with the whole concept of the Valentine card. We talked about that in the St. Valentine's episode, and
Yeah.
how you would remember we would do that in school when we were little. We'd
Sure.
have those little, in elementary school, you'd have those little cards that you gave to everybody.
Sure.
Vinegar Valentine were popular in the 18 and early 1900s, and they were vulgar. They were cheeky. They were insulting. And they were designed to actually lampoon Valentine's Day cards, but they were usually anonymous, and they were something that you could send to somebody to diss on them. It was like a diss track in rap.
So it's not flirtatious, but they're actually for people you don't like.
Yeah, yeah. In the UK, they called them mock Valentines. Sometimes they were called comic Valentines, but they had a very distinctive style. Like if you were to to Google Vinegar Valentines, you'd see what I'm talking about. They were these kind of almost like Monty Python style drawings of people, and then the people would have a giant head, or they would have exaggerated features, and then they would say something like this. This one was for the sales lady at a department store that you didn't like. As you wait upon the women, with disgust upon your face, the way you snap and bark at them, you'd think you own the place. Yeah.
So was this on Valentine's Day you get this?
Yeah, you would send these to people on Valentine's instead of a normal Valentine. And you would, typically these were sold, and you could find ones that were specific to your scenario, your situation, or whatever it was. But the best thing about it was back in those days, they usually cost a penny to buy, and then there was postage. Well, everything back in the 1840s, 1850s, kind of through the early 1900s, before we really established the post office in Europe and the US, was COD. So you would send this, the person would get it, they'd have to pay the postage on it, and then they would read it, and it's an insult.
Well, I don't like this. I don't like this at all. I don't like it. I don't like that if I received one of these on Valentine's Day, it would ruin my day.
Yeah?
I don't care how many Valentines I got. And I feel like, we have this today, right? With trolls. We have this with internet trolls. The world needs less of that, not more of that, especially anonymous trolls. Like that seems like right out of today.
This was early anonymous trolling. And they did have a list of the type of people you would send this to. You might send it to a drunk, a shrew, a bachelor.
Wait, what's a shrew?
An old lady, a dandy,
that's
a flirt,
nice.
A penny pincher, a mean sales lady.
A penny pincher.
All of these were victims of it, and I think
we could almost do a dead end on each one of those people that you saw.
Right.
That you just said, right?
I think the idea behind this was to allow people to sort of express their frustration anonymously before you could do that.
Yeah, and now it's all we do now, right?
Yeah, I guess that's
true. And the world's not a better place for it.
No, I think it all started with Vinegar Valentines. They were cheap.
Man.
They were cheaply made. So a normal Valentine back then might have lace on it. It might be made from really high quality cardstock and printed with care, multiple layers glued together. It might have intricate folds. These were usually just a single piece of paper that cost about a penny. It was only printed on one side. Sometimes they would even print on the back of something else just to save money. And it would have these really, really exaggerated drawings that were done. And these drawings were pretty unflattering. Like they actually tried to make people look bad.
I wonder why you didn't hear about this with telephones. Like we have prank calls, but we didn't have any that I know of, any instances with people back when you could be anonymous on the telephone, back before star 69 and call ID and all those things.
Yeah.
You didn't have instances of people saying, hey, you know what? You were really rude to me at the counter yesterday, or you were really a, did you say skinflint or I don't remember uh, cheap or whatever. We didn't. I don't. It seemed like that's a thing you could do
I said
anonymously.
shrews.
Shrews.
Well, this I disagree with you. I know you could, back then, what you could do is you could call the manager of the store if the phone was available there. You could crank call the store. You could start a campaign to
Yeah,
do that.
you did have crank calling.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, these things were really way ahead of their time. They sometimes would target even upstanding people like doctors or the postman. They would sometimes, and the postmen actually hated these because these were often returned without the postage being paid. So someone would send it, the person would know what it was, wouldn't pay the postage, and so the postman had to do all this work, and it
I wonder how they knew what it was. Did they actually, you think, like put instead of perfume, they'd put vinegar on it?
yeah, I don't know. I think the vinegar just has to do with the sourness of it and the
But maybe that's how they knew.
that could be.
It had a scent to it. You know, how some people used to put perfume on love letters.
A little spray of perfume.
Maybe you spray it with a little vinegar.
Well, one of the sets of people that were pretty targeted by these were women who were fighting for the right to vote. So suffragettes. These suffragettes often got these vinegar valentines sent to them, and one of them said, "For the suffragette, your vote from me you will not get. I don't want a preaching suffragette." And then the suffragettes actually came out with their own vinegar postcards that they would send to the haters. And this would say, "No vote, no kiss." So
yeah.
there was also a movement by women who didn't feel like women should have the right to vote, where they would send out one of these that was kind of look like a vinegar postcard, but it basically would say that they don't need the right to vote. Suffragettes did have their own pro-women's rights Valentine to pass around on February 14th. That was the one that said "No vote, no kiss." But there was another one that said, "In these wild days of suffragette drays, I'm sure you'd ne'er overlook a girl who can't be militant because she simply loves to cook." That's a lot of words, but it made sense back then. And then there's a picture of a woman cooking.
I wonder what put an end to the Vinegar Valentine.
Well, you can still find them online. I think a lot of the retro steampunk, these kids that watch VHS tapes and listen to vinyl, they might send the Vinegar Valentine.
They're still doing that.
One of my favorites was called Skidoo, and it said, "To my Valentine, 'tis a lemon that I hand you, and I bid you now skidoo, because I love another, and there's no chance for you."
Oh man, rotten to the core.
Yeah.
Now that one you couldn't be so anonymous,
right? I guess they might know who sent it. They might actually
so rude.
Understand.
So do you think you want them back? Don't you? You like the Vinegar Valentines?
Well, here's the thing. I'm not a big fan of Valentine's Day in general. I feel like it's sort of saying you tell people you love them. It's just a little bit contrived and old-fashioned, and so I think I would, rather than being mean to people, though, maybe I would send them something that like don't you ever know somebody that maybe always has bad breath, or they walk around with their zipper down, or there's something that they need to be told but you don't want to tell them in person? There could be sort of a Vinegar Valentine for that.
What the world needs now is love, Kelly.
Well, I'll leave you with this one. This is called The Snake, and it was a snake who was, a woman snake, and she was a pretty woman's body, but a snake's head. And it said, "I'm not attracted by your glitter, for well I know how bitter my life would be if I should take you for my spouse, you rattlesnake. Oh no, I'd not accept the ring, or evermore 'twould prove a sting."
Let's put it to music.
Da 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 da.
No, you should definitely put that to music.
There was one pop culture reference I could find. Do you know who Susie Durkins is? This is going deep. She was the love interest of Calvin from Calvin and Hobbes.
Okay.
The girl he loved to hate. And in his comic strip, there is one where he's making her a Vinegar Valentine.
Really?
Yeah. If you're a fan.
And he calls it that.
Yeah.
Is that where you heard about it?
That's where I heard about it. Everything goes back to Calvin and Hobbes one way or another. All right, everybody. Happy Valentine. Hope you don't get a vinegar one. And we'll see you in a week.
Roses are red, your soul is gray. Why do you talk like there's something to say? Your laugh is like nails scraping at night. How did I end up in this plight? You leave your socks all over the place. Your jokes hardly ever raise a face. I smile and nod while inside I scream. This isn't the Valentines of my dreams. Happy miserable Valentines. You're a mess tying up my lines. Can't believe how you waste my time. Happy miserable Valentines. Your stories drag on like endless rain. Repetition drives me straight insane. You snore so loud I can't even sleep. Your promises are ones you never keep. Your cooking's awful and your taste is bland. You think you're clever, but you don't understand. Every day is another mundane chore. Can't stand another second more. Happy miserable Valentines. You're a mess tying up my lines. Can't believe how you waste my time. Happy miserable Valentine.